The best thing about these updates that I send you guys and you guys tuning into them is that there is record of the shit I say, because I should be held accountable. And I hope that some of you guys remember my interest rate forecast for 2023. Many of you said that that was ill-advised. Actually, none of you said that, but I know that it's not the time to be trying to make bold predictions, especially not in this kind of market. But I did it anyways, and I am ready to accept my Crystal Ball award. I said that rates would be in the 5s this year. Well, some of you doubted me in February. Many of you doubted me in April, as well you should have, because things got bumpy. And I don't think that the bumps are over. The saying is that interest rates take the elevator up and the stairs down. And we're nowhere near the bottom floor. But I do think that interest rates will be in the mid-5s this summer, maybe even low 5s. Because deflation is the future. The signs are now emerging pretty clearly and rather rapidly. The CPI numbers were good last week and will be even better when the used car prices and rents are reflected or updated properly, both of which we know are falling. So when those are reflected properly, we'll see even better inflation readings. If the CPI is flat for May and June, that would put year-over-year inflation in the mid-2s, which is magically, wonderfully, amazingly close to the Fed's target of 2%. So that puts all eyes on the Fed. I think we're done with rate hikes. I mentioned last week, though, that the Fed futures market is building in a rate cut at 100% certainty. And that's dangerous because if the Fed doesn't do a rate cut, and they are a wild card and no one knows what they're going to do ever, mortgage bonds in the market has already celebrated a rate cut. So if it doesn't happen, we could see a whipsaw reaction and rates jump temporarily. So those are some of the bumps that I predict. But I think that overall, interest rates may not fall down, but they're going to trend down. I'm hopeful that they will anyways, because we really are seeing that consumers have hit their spending capacity. Credit cards are maxed out. We found out that in March, there was a rapid surge of credit card debt, 17.6 billion. We have since found out that 6% of credit card accounts are in default, 30 days late, that means. And interest rates on credit cards are upwards of 25%. So that's putting strain on the American household. Auto loan defaults are at 27.5%. Many of you have heard about Airbnb missing their revenue targets, and I've personally experienced that. We just had to turn our vacation rental in Sonoma into a long-term rental because we had zero demand from Airbnb this year. So I know that's true. And in April, we also saw that airfare sales were down, which makes sense for why Airbnb sales would be down. Hotels are down, motels are down. And another thing, Microsoft announced another 10,000 layoffs and a bonus and pay increase freeze for everybody who does work there. We know we have to pay attention to information like that because the labor market has been the economic anomaly this whole time, holding strong when it really isn't. But the point of that whole rant just now was not to scare you, although I'm certain now that some of you are feeling very uncomfortable. I want to point out these economic indicators of a recession because a recession will bring lower interest rates, and many folks will turn to real estate as a safer asset class than others. And that's not me telling you guys get ready to capitalize on bad news. That's me helping you understand how to advise your clients heading into a new season. How are we going to prepare our buyers and sellers for the next few months? I would encourage each of you to be hosting online classes like webinars or on your social media about the changing market. My team and I started these in January, and it's been huge for keeping our pre-approved buyers in the loop and connected, and even our past clients and referral partners join us for these, and it helps everyone understand what's happening in the market and brainstorm and mastermind together. If any of you are interested in setting this up, if you're interested in reaching your sphere from an educational rather than sales place, then I'd be happy to help you, and so would Sandy. Doing it online is also free. It's not going to cost you anything but your time. It doesn't matter if only 5 people show up because it's not like you're sitting in an awkward empty room, and you can send the recording of it to your sphere later. It gives you another reason to reach out to your database. So I also think you should be reaching out to your buyers before summer and help them be prepared for a more competitive market because buyers have gotten beat up the last few years, and we need to help them know what to expect because it makes the whole process better. But as the summer starts to heat up, that means they want to get their pre-approval updated. They should be making sure that they're reviewing financing strategies before they go to view properties. That way, if they decide to make an offer, they're ready to do so quickly. I'm not saying we won't have any ability to negotiate this summer. I still think there will be scenarios where we can, but There's no harm in being prepared, ever. For sellers, I think we need to reach them because most of them still think that the housing market is on the verge of a collapse. The media is still shoving down their throats that home values are down, market's about to collapse, this would be the absolute worst time to sell your house. And so no wonder a lot of them feel trapped. Plus they have really low interest rates, but their home may not be where they want to be right now. It might actually be a detriment to them. It's either too big or too small, or it's holding them back from some other goal. So I think our messaging, we need to be creating content, we need to be calling, we need to be reaching sellers and telling them what's really happening in the market so they can make an informed decision about whether or not to list their house right now. I'm planning some content for the coming weeks about how now could be a great time to sell your house, as there'll be more buyers back in the market who previously were priced out by interest rates. I think you should do the same. And again, if you need help with any of this, with understanding what's happening with the economy or with getting that message to your clients, we're here to help. Just use the link below and schedule a time. We want to support you, we want to support your clients, and we want everyone to understand what's really happening.